For a long, frozen moment, no one in the narrow corridor moved. Lena stood beneath the metal vent, breath shuddering, her palm still pressed against the cold wall where the whisper had slithered through. The guard beside her gripped his radio, eyes darting toward the dark grate above. Then Malik arrived. His footsteps were sharp, urgent. The energy in the hallway shifted. He took in the scene, the sagging vent cover, Lena's ashen face, the guard's coiled tension. "Lena," he said, his voice low and firm. "What did he say?" "Exactly." She swallowed, her voice a fragile thing. "He said he didn't run away. He was hiding from someone." Malik's brows drew tight. "From who?" Lena looked up at the vent, her heart hammered. "He said a name, or like a name." "What name?" Malik pressed gently. She hesitated. The word felt foreign, dangerous. "Riverway." The guard stiffened. Malik's expression tightened, a flicker of grim recognition in his eyes. "Riverway," he repeated slowly, as if the word had weight and teeth. "Yes," Lena whispered. "He said Riverway is dangerous, that I saw something I shouldn't have." Malik exhaled deeply, a long, weary sound. He leaned closer to the vent. "Samuel, can you hear me?" No answer. He knocked on the wall with his knuckles. "Samuel, respond." Only silence echoed back. The guard shifted nervously. "Sir, with respect, that name, Riverway, it's been mentioned before." Malik turned sharply. "By who?" The guard licked dry lips. "By Miss Clarissa, the day before she was arrested." Lena gasped softly. "What did she say?" Malik demanded. "She was screaming on the phone," the guard continued, voice hushed. "She said, if Riverway screws this up, we're all finished." Then she threw the phone against the wall. Lena's knees nearly buckled. Clarissa again. But Clarissa wasn't a planner. She was a weapon someone else aimed, which meant... "Sir," Lena whispered, "does that mean Riverway was behind everything? Clarissa, Samuel, me?" Malik didn't answer right away. He stepped toward her, his expression grave, lips pressed into a thin, troubled line. "There's something you need to understand," he said quietly. "This house, it was built with hidden passages, maintenance shafts. After a kidnapping threat decades ago, very few people know how to navigate them. The original staff," the guard added, "the ones trained when the estate was first built." Lena's voice trembled. "So Riverway is one of them." Malik's silence was confirmation enough. Suddenly, clang, a loud metallic crash echoed from deep within the wall. Lena screamed, stumbling back. The guard drew his baton. Malik stepped protectively in front of her. "Samuel," Malik called out, "if you can hear me, give a sign." This time a faint tapping answered. Tap, 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 pause, tap. "Weak deliberate." The guard frowned. "Sir, that's the old emergency code, for danger. Which means," Malik said slowly, "Samuel isn't alone in there." Malik looked at her, his eyes darkening with a truth he clearly hated. "Riverway," he said. "We don't know his face. We don't know his real name. We only know he's worked quietly in this house for years." "But why?" Lena whispered. "Why target me? Why Samuel?" Malik took a slow, steadying breath. "Because both of you disrupted something he planned very carefully." Her brows furrowed. "What did I disrupt? I just stopped Clarissa from—" "That's exactly it," Malik cut in, his voice sharp. "You stood up to her in front of everyone. You weren't supposed to. Clarissa wasn't supposed to be exposed until after something else was finished." "Finished?" Lena echoed. "What thing?" Malik hesitated. The guard spoke instead. Miss Clarissa wasn't planning to marry Sir Malik for love. She was executing a plan, a long-term one, and someone was guiding her. Lena felt her stomach twist into a knot. "Riverway." "Yes," the guard whispered, "and you ruined it the moment you grabbed her hand." "But why would a staff member want her to marry you?" Lena asked, bewildered. The answer came from the vent, Samuel's voice, thin and strained. "Because once they were married, the estate, the company, the assets—" Malik leaned forward, eyes widening. Samuel finished, "would fall under her control. And then, Riverway's." Lena clapped a hand over her mouth. Riverway wasn't just a staff member. He was a puppeteer, a shadow who wanted to control a fortune through a puppet bride. Malik looked shaken, truly shaken. "Samuel, who is he? Tell me his real name." A strained cough echoed inside the metal duct. Then Samuel whispered, his voice fraying, "Malik, Riverway is someone you trust." Lena froze. Malik's chest tightened. "Who?" "Someone who has access to your movements, your schedules, your security codes." Samuel's words were labored. Lena's heart thumped painfully. "Someone who was here long before you took over your company." The guards swallowed hard. Lena whispered, "No, it can't be." Finally, Samuel forced the words out. "Malik, Riverway is—" A violent crash echoed from inside the vent. Lena screamed as the metal grill snapped fully, dangling by one screw. Then came silence, long, crushing. "Samuel!" Malik shouted, slamming his fist against the wall. "Samuel, answer me!" Nothing, not a breath, not a movement. The guard backed away slowly. I think Riverway reached him. Tears stung Lena's eyes. "No, he was trying to help. He can't be—" Malik clenched his fist so tightly his knuckles turned bone white. "This stops tonight," he whispered through gritted teeth. "Whoever Riverway is, whoever has been hiding in plain sight, I will find him, and he will never touch you again." Lena looked up at him, her voice trembling. "But Samuel never finished. We still don't know who he is." Malik turned toward the dark vent, his face hardening into a mask of resolve. "We will." But even as he said it, a cold draft blew from the open vent, a sign that someone else was still inside, listening, watching, waiting. The mansion did not sleep that night. Not a single guard blinked without fear tightening their chest. Every corridor, every doorway, every vent seemed to hum with the presence of an unseen predator. The shadow Samuel had named. Malik did not leave Lena's side for long. After the crash, he ordered the West Wing sealed and stationed guards on every floor. But even with men patrolling, the house felt exposed, as if the danger wasn't outside at all, but already in, woven into the very walls. Lena sat on a chair in the inner corridor, hugging her arms. Her breath shook, her pulse wouldn't slow. Samuel's last words replayed, "Riverway is someone you trust." Someone Malik trusted. Someone inside. Someone close. The thought made her skin crawl. Malik stepped closer and knelt beside her, not as a billionaire, but as a man whose world was collapsing. "Lena," he said softly, "tell me again how he spoke, his tone, his breathing, anything." She closed her eyes, forcing herself back to the whisper. It was calm, too calm. He wasn't afraid. He sounded confident, like he knew the house better than all of us. Malik nodded slowly. "That matches. Whoever he is, he's been inside for years." The guard beside them shifted. "Sir, I'd like permission to alert external security." "No," Malik said immediately. "Until we confirm who's involved, we can't risk the wrong person slipping out." "But, sir—" I said no. The guard bowed his head. "Yes, sir." Lena looked at Malik, worry tightening her throat. "Sir, Samuel said Riverway always collects. What does that mean?" Malik turned to her, his expression troubled. "Lena, there's something I haven't told anyone, not even the police." His voice lowered. "Years ago, before I inherited the company, there were rumors about a silent operator who handled dirty business for powerful families. Someone who never showed his face, someone who collected debts, secrets, and people." Lena shivered. Malik continued. "They said he chose the name Riverway because things disappear quietly in rivers." Her hand flew to her mouth. "But that was years ago," Malik added quickly. "Most thought he'd disappeared. Or," the guard said grimly, "he simply changed where he operated." Malik frowned. "Meaning?" The guard inhaled, meaning he chose a mansion big enough to hide in. A chill swept through Lena's entire body. Malik stood abruptly. "Enough. We're not assuming Samuel is gone. He might still be moving in the shafts." The lights flickered. All three froze. The guard gripped his radio. "Sir, electricians said the wiring was stable. No reason for this." "They're not flickering," Malik said slowly, looking around. "They're being tampered with." A faint metallic thud echoed above them. Lena jumped. Malik stepped protectively in front of her. "Everyone alert," he commanded. The guard hurried down the hall to check the circuit panel. Malik turned back to Lena, his voice low and steady. "You're safe with me, I promise." She nodded, though fear still pulsed in her veins. A moment passed, then another. Silence settled, too quiet. Suddenly the guard's radio crackled, loud, sharp, distorted. Sir, you need to come downstairs. Now!" Malik grabbed the device. "What is it?" The voice was breathless. "We found something in the laundry room." "What did you find?" Another guard shouted in the background. "Sir, it's a phone." "A phone? Not Samuel's cracked one from the garden, someone else's." Malik turned to Lena. "Stay here, do not move." Her hand instinctively reached for his sleeve. "Please be careful." He nodded, touched her hand briefly, too briefly, and strode down the corridor. Lena watched him disappear. She sank back into the chair, trying to steady her breathing. Only seconds passed before she froze. A soft creak, not from the ceiling, from the vent near the floor. Slowly, very slowly, its screws began to twist. Lena's heart nearly stopped. She backed away. "No, please." Then the screws stopped turning. Silence, not comforting. Stalking. She ran to the door and banged on it. "Guard! Someone's here!" But before anyone arrived, a whisper slithered from the vent. Deep, slow, more chilling than Samuel's. "Little Lena!" She gasped, stumbling backward. "Stop running." Her breath grew ragged. "You were brave once," the voice purred. "Don't lose that now." She shook her head violently. "Please leave me alone." "You caught a hand," the voice continued, calm, conversational. "But do you know what hand holds you now?" Lena covered her ears, shaking. A low chuckle echoed, confident. "I know you better than you think." Her knees weakened. "And soon," the voice whispered, "you will know me too." Footsteps thundered toward the corridor. The voice went silent instantly. The guard swung the door open. "Lena, what happened?" She pointed with a trembling finger. "There, the vent." He spoke again. "Not Samuel." The guard rushed toward it, baton raised, but the vent was still, dark, empty. "Sir!" another guard shouted from down the hall. "We need you to see this, now!" Lena followed carefully as they hurried toward the laundry room. When she stepped inside, she saw Malik holding a small, old-fashioned mobile phone. Black, scratched, switched off. "Whose phone is that?" Lena asked, her brows knitting. Malik's jaw tightened. "The laundry girl found it, behind the washing machine. Someone dropped it while moving through the wall." The guard beside him cleared his throat. "We checked the number. It's under a fake name, but what?" Malik demanded. The guard hesitated. "This phone has been calling Clarissa's secret line for months." Lena's eyes widened. "And there's more," the guard added, voice shaking. "The call logs show multiple calls from inside the mansion." Lena felt like she'd been punched. Malik whispered, barely audible, "Riverway has been communicating with her from inside my home." The guard nodded. "For a long time, sir, long before Miss Lena ever arrived." Malik's gaze hardened. Lena's heart pounded. Someone had been orchestrating everything. Clarissa's manipulation, Samuel's arrival, the threats, the recordings, while hiding in the walls, not for days, for months. Lena felt dizzy. "Sir, what if Riverway was never targeting Samuel?" she whispered. Malik looked at her sharply. "What do you mean?" She swallowed. "What if his real target was always you?" The room fell silent. A guard near the door muttered, "But why, sir? Why go after him?" Lena looked from the phone to Malik, a sudden realization chilling her bones. "Because you're a billionaire," she whispered. "Because Clarissa wasn't marrying you for love. She was marrying you for control." Malik's eyes darkened. "And if she married me while working for Riverway," he said slowly. "Riverway would gain access," Lena finished, the pieces locking into a horrible picture, "to your company, your wealth, your name, your power." The guards exchanged fearful glances. Malik didn't speak. His expression shifted from fear to a rising, cold fury. Then the phone in his hand vibrated. Everyone gasped. The screen lit up, unknown caller. Malik stared at it, his chest tightening. The guards moved defensively. Lena stepped closer, fear thick in her voice. "Sir, don't answer!" But Malik raised the phone slowly to his ear. "This is Malik Anderson." A long silence followed. Then a voice, distorted, calm, terrifying, spoke. "Hello, Malik." His stomach dropped. "Riverway," he whispered. The voice chuckled. "I see you found my phone." Malik clenched his jaw. "Show yourself. Stop hiding." "Soon," the voice replied. "But first, tell the girl standing beside you to step away." Malik stiffened. Lena froze behind him. "How do you know where she is?" Malik demanded. A low laugh echoed through the speaker. "Malik, I see everything inside your house." Lena's skin crawled. Tears pooled in her eyes. The voice continued. "I warned Samuel not to speak. He didn't listen. Now he has paid." Lena's heart shattered. "No, Samuel can't be." The voice cut her off. "And you, Lena?" Malik tightened his grip on the phone. "Leave her alone," he snapped. But Riverway spoke as if Malik hadn't said a word. "You stopped a slap, but you started something much bigger." Lena trembled violently. "Why me?" she whispered. Riverway's tone sharpened. "Because you are the piece I didn't plan for." Malik's eyes widened. "And pieces I don't plan for," the voice lowered into a chilling whisper, "must be removed." The call ended. Beep, beep, beep. Suffocating silence filled the room. Lena's breath caught in her throat. Malik slowly lowered the phone, his face pale with shock but burning with fury. "Everyone," he said quietly, "lock every entrance, seal every vent. No one goes anywhere alone." Then he turned to Lena and gently held her trembling shoulders. "Riverway wants you gone. That means you will not leave my sight." Lena swallowed hard. "Sir, what do we do now?" Malik breathed in slowly, deeply. Then he answered, "Now we hunt him." The word hunt had never sounded so serious inside that mansion. It left Malik's mouth like a promise and a warning. The staff felt it. The guards felt it. Even the walls, with all their hidden secrets, seemed to feel it. From the laundry room, Malik led Lena and the security team back toward the study. His jaw was tight, one hand still holding the cheap black phone. Lena walked close to him, heart racing, fingers trembling. "Sir, should we call the police back?" a guard whispered. "No," Malik said firmly. "If Riverway is inside this house, we handle this from inside first. There are things I do not want leaving this compound." Lena knew what he meant. The recording, the secret line, the broken engagement, the danger tied to his name. The world already had enough pieces. Riverway must not give them the rest. They entered the study. The room smelled of wood polish and old paper. The desk lamp glowed warmly, but tonight it felt like a small fire in a very dark cave. Malik closed the door behind them. "Lock it," he ordered. The guard obeyed. Lena swallowed, glancing at the tall shelves, the framed certificates, the city map on the wall. "Sir," she said quietly, "how do you hunt someone you can't see?" Malik didn't answer at first. He moved to a side shelf and pulled out a black metal box with a keyhole. From his pocket, he took a small key and unlocked it. Inside were several rolled white papers, blueprints. He placed them on the desk and slowly unrolled the largest one. "This is where we start," he murmured. Lena stepped closer, curiosity mixing with fear. The blueprint showed the entire layout of the mansion, the main building, the wings, the underground storage, the staff quarters, and something else. Malik's eyes followed her finger. "Service shafts," he said quietly, "built by the original owner. Old ventilation routes, maintenance tunnels. They were supposed to be sealed off before I bought this place." He traced one with his finger. A narrow path running from one corner of the house to another, passing close to the study, the laundry room, the staff corridor, ending at the east fence. One of the guards said, "That's where some of the movement on the cameras keeps disappearing." Lena's chest tightened. "So Riverway has been using this for months." Malik nodded once. "And maybe Samuel used it tonight, or was forced into it." The thought made her shiver. One guard pointed at a darker line. "Sir, what is this section? It looks like a room, but I've never seen a door there." Malik frowned and leaned closer. The mark was small, near the west wing, hidden behind several overlapping lines. "Utility chamber," he read aloud. "Old generator room. It was supposed to be blocked off when we changed the power layout." Supposed to be, the guard repeated. But was it? Malik's eyes hardened. We'll find out. He straightened. 2 of you will sweep the west wing. Check every panel, every shaft cover, every wall. If there's a hollow sound, mark it. Don't move alone. Always in pairs. Yes, sir. They moved toward the door. Malik stopped them with a final command. And if you see anything that looks like a trap, don't touch it. Riverway likes games. The door closed behind them. Silence again, that heavy kind of silence that makes breathing feel too loud. Lena stared at the blueprint. Her eyes drifted toward the corner, showing the staff quarters. Something caught her attention. "Sir, what is this?" she asked, pointing at a tiny, unlabeled square drawn near the back fence. Malik squinted. A small square, unlabeled, connected with a faint dotted line to the staff building. "That shouldn't be there," he said. "There's no extra building behind the staff quarters." "Maybe there was before," Lena suggested. Malik's face changed. For the first time that night, a different kind of tension entered his eyes. Not just fear, recognition. "Riverway," he whispered. Lena looked at him. "What do you mean?" He reached for another older rolled paper, yellowed with age, and opened it quickly. His finger slid down a page of faded, typed construction details. It stopped. Original project owner, Riverway Holdings, Estates Limited. Lena's heart stopped for a second. "Sir, your house was built by Riverway." Malik exhaled slowly, like someone who had just realized they'd been living inside a puzzle. "The company name was on the documents when I bought the land," he said, "but I was told the brand no longer existed. I never imagined—" His voice faded. That Riverway wasn't just near his life. He was under it, around it, inside it, from the very beginning. A chill swept through the room. "Sir," Lena whispered, "does that mean he designed this place to always be able to come back?" Malik's jaw clenched. "I think it means this house was never fully mine." Before either could say more, the radio on the desk crackled. "Sir, we're by the west wing wall," a guard reported. "We knocked on the panel near the old store. It's hollow." Malik straightened immediately. "Don't open it yet. I'm coming." He looked at Lena. "You're staying here." Her eyes widened. "Sir, I don't want to—" "It's not safe," he cut in gently. "You heard what Riverway said. I can't risk you walking into whatever he's planning." "I don't want you to walk into it alone either," she replied quickly. Their eyes held. For a moment the fear between them melted into something else, quiet, protective, painful. "I will come back," he said softly. "You promised that earlier too," she whispered, "and he still found me." He hesitated. Then, surprising both of them, he picked up the chair she'd been sitting on and dragged it closer to the desk. "Sit," he said. She did. He pushed the blueprint closer to her. "If anything moves, if any vent opens, if this phone rings again—" He tapped the small black device. "Do not answer. Call me immediately." She nodded. Her chest felt tight. He headed for the door. Just before he stepped out, she called softly, "Sir!" He turned. "You're not alone in this." Something in his face softened. He gave a small nod. Then he left. The door closed. The study became too big, too quiet, too full of listening walls. Lena sat still, fingers lightly touching the edge of the blueprint, eyes darting between the map and the vents above the bookshelves. Minutes passed. Then more. The radio crackled somewhere in the distance, voices muffled. She couldn't hear the words. Her heart beat faster. She tried to calm herself by tracing the lines on the plan, corridors, rooms, service shafts. She followed one narrow line that curved around the outer wall and then stopped. Not at a room, not at a door, at a symbol. A faint, almost invisible marking. She squinted. It looked like a wave or a river. Her pulse jumped. That symbol. She had seen it somewhere before, but where? She closed her eyes. For a moment she wasn't in the mansion. She was back in her village, standing outside the small bus park, holding her travel bag, watching her mother cough and force a brave smile. "Remember," her mother had said, "if you see this sign—" The memory blurred. Her temples throbbed. She pressed her fingers there, trying to force the picture clearer. Her mother's hand, a piece of paper, a mark that looked like— Her eyes flew open, the same curved symbol on a poster behind the bus driver. Riverway Microfinance, small loans, fast help, quiet recovery. Recovery. She stared at the blueprint. Riverway always collects. The words from the vent hit her like a slap. Her family had taken a loan years ago from that company, from that name, from that symbol. From him. Her breath turned sharp. The worst part wasn't that Riverway had touched her life before. It was that she hadn't even known. A soft shuffle echoed from behind one of the shelves. Lena froze, her eyes lifted slowly. The bookshelf behind Malik's desk looked normal, but one of the lower panels near the floor was slightly misaligned. Had it been that way before? She swallowed. "God," she called softly. "Is anyone there?" No answer. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears. She stood up slowly, one step, another. The closer she got, the clearer the misalignment became. The panel looked like someone had pushed it from behind recently. Her fingers trembled as she reached for it, stopped. "No," she whispered to herself. "He said don't touch anything that looks like a trap." She stepped back, turned toward the door. "Guard!" she called louder now. "Please!" The radio on the desk crackled loudly. "Sir, we found a sealed door at the west wall. It looks recently used. Fresh dust missing around the edges. We think someone went through." Static cut him off. "Hello, hello, can you hear?" Silence. Lena stared at the device. "No," she whispered. "Please don't stop now." The room felt colder. Then from behind the misaligned panel came a soft, careful knock. Tap, tap, tap. Her entire body locked. "Lena." The voice slid through the panel like smoke, not from the ceiling this time, not from the vent, from directly behind the shelf, right inside the wall. Too close. Her throat went dry. "Don't scream," the voice said calmly. "If you scream, they will run in here thinking they're protecting you, and I will have to hurt them." Tears filled Lena's eyes. Her fingers shook. "Why are you doing this?" she whispered. The voice gave a small, almost amused sigh. "You think this is about you? You are important, yes, but not the reason this house is under judgment." "Judgment?" She pressed her back against the desk, trying to keep distance between herself and the voice. "What do you want from me?" The answer came slowly. "As I said before, you are the key." "To what?" The voice paused. "To making Malik remember." "Remember what?" she asked, confused, scared. "His past." The panel creaked slightly. "Ask him," the voice said. "Ask him what happened at the other mansion, the one by the water." Her mind raced. Another mansion. "You think this is his first house with secrets?" Riverway whispered. "No, little one. Rivers always pass through more than one place before they arrive where they are meant to flood." Her hands tightened around the back of the chair. "Why me?" she asked again, voice shaking. "Why am I the key?" For the first time, the voice seemed to hesitate. Then it said, "Because your life crossed his long before this job, and neither of you knows it yet." Her heart slammed against her ribs. "No, that's not possible. I never met him before this." "This is why you are a key," Riverway cut in. "A lock does not know it belongs to a certain key until someone tries to open it." She shook her head, tears rolling down her cheeks. "You're lying." "Ask him about the fire," Riverway whispered. Her breath caught. "Ask him about the night a building by the river burned down, and whose names disappeared from the report." Her knees weakened. "I don't know what you're talking about." The voice dropped lower. "Ask him who paid your mother's hospital bill the first time she collapsed." Her body froze, her lips parted. How do you know about my mother?" Silence. Riverway chuckled softly. "I told you, Lena, I see more than you think." Footsteps echoed down the hall, fast, strong. Malik's voice rang out. "Lena, open the door!" She turned toward the sound. The panel behind the shelf clicked softly. "Shh," Riverway whispered. "Our time is done for now." Her breath came in quick bursts. Malik knocked harder. "Are you okay?" She ran to the door, unlocked it with shaking hands and pulled it open. He rushed in, eyes scanning her from head to toe. "Did he come back?" he demanded. Tears spilled over. Lena nodded slowly. "Yes," she whispered, "and he didn't threaten to kill me this time." Malik frowned. "Then what did he do?" She swallowed hard. "He said, This started long before Clarissa, long before this mansion, long before I got this job. Malik's eyes narrowed. What is that supposed to mean? She looked up at him, eyes shining with confusion and fear. He told me, she said quietly, every word heavy, that you and I have crossed paths before. Malik froze, his heartbeat stuttered, and that there was a fire by a river and names that disappeared. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Malik, what happened at the other mansion? He did not answer, because for the first time that night it wasn't Riverway that scared him. It was his own memory and the terrible possibility that Riverway was right. For a long moment, Malik did not breathe. He did not blink. He did not speak. He simply stared at Lena, like the air had turned solid and trapped him inside it. Her question hung between them like a ghost that refused to be ignored. Lena waited, chest tight, hands clenched at her sides. The study felt smaller, darker. Finally, Malik looked away. Lena, he said quietly, there are things I buried. Things I paid to bury. Things that were supposed to stay buried. His voice was low, heavy, haunted. Lena stepped closer without meaning to. What fire, and what does it have to do with me? Malik's jaw clenched. It has nothing to do with you. That man is trying to confuse you. I don't think so, she whispered. He knew things about my mother, things I've never told anyone here. That stopped him cold. He turned fast. What did he say about her? Lena swallowed painfully. He said, he knows who paid my mother's hospital bill the first time she collapsed. Malik's eyes widened. Too fast, too much. It wasn't confusion, it wasn't curiosity, it was recognition. Sir, Lena whispered, her heart trembling. Was it you? Silence swallowed the room, not the peaceful kind, the dangerous kind. Malik stepped back and lowered himself slowly into the leather chair, elbows on his knees, hands clasped tightly. For a moment, he looked like a man sitting at the edge of a cliff. It was supposed to stay quiet, he murmured. I wasn't supposed to be connected. He dragged a hand over his face. Your mother, Mrs. N. Dye. She used to work for a charity partner of one of my companies, a small outreach group near the Riverway community, the same place where the first mansion stood. Lena's eyes widened. My mother, she never told me she knew anyone. Rich. Because she didn't, Malik said quickly. We never met. She handled paperwork for the foundation assisting widows. She was honest, efficient, the kind of woman who did the work of 10 people without complaining. Lena felt her throat tighten. That was her mother. When she collapsed, Malik continued, voice softer, her records crossed my desk. I saw she had a daughter in school, that she was working 3 jobs, that she had no support. Lena blinked rapidly, tears threatening. And you paid? He nodded. I paid the bills quietly, no credit, no signature. I didn't want the foundation workers turning it into a story. Your mother never even knew who approved the funds. Lena covered her mouth with a trembling hand. Mama, she always prayed for the stranger who helped us. She never knew it was you. Malik exhaled slowly. It wasn't kindness, Lena. She looked up sharply. Then why? He stared at the blueprint still lying on the table. Guilt. The words sliced the air. What guilt? She whispered. Malik leaned back, eyes heavy with a memory that hurt to hold. There was a mansion by the water, he began. One of my early projects. Beautiful, modern, too expensive for the location. I was young, reckless, always chasing the next big idea. He paused. There was a night, years ago, when a fire broke out there, late. Lena's breath caught. Malik continued. At first, everyone said it was faulty wiring, a lightning strike, a generator backfire. But later, an investigation showed something else. Arson, she whispered. He nodded. The fire spread fast, too fast, and the escape routes, the ones that were supposed to be unlocked, were jammed. Lena felt goosebumps crawl up her skin. At the end of the night, Malik said quietly, 2 people were dead. She pressed a shaking hand to her chest. One was a security guard, a young father trying to make money for his baby girl. The second was a cleaner from the Riverway community. He stopped. His voice wavered. Lena stared. "Sir, who was the cleaner?" He closed his eyes. "I don't know her full name. The report only listed Ndi female." Her knees buckled. She fell into the chair behind her. "No, not Mama, not her. My mother is alive, so it couldn't be her." Malik nodded quickly. "No, it wasn't her. The age didn't match. But the name haunted me. It made me look deeper into the community. That's how I first saw your mother's file, how I saw her health crisis, how I intervened." "But why?" she whispered. "Why would a fire make you help someone you didn't know?" Malik's eyes hardened. "Because the fire wasn't an accident," he said, "and I knew it." Her pulse thudded in her ears. "Who caused it?" His answer came like a punch. "Riverway." Lena gasped. His voice dropped lower. He was part of the original construction group, the landowner's son, a brilliant architect but twisted. He believed Riverway settlement should be cleared out, turned into elite housing. He wanted that mansion to fail so he could get the land reclaimed. Lena shook her head. "But why burn it?" "To send a message," Malik said. "He wanted investors to back out so he could buy it cheaply. But I refused to sell. And the night before the fire, he threatened me." Her chest tightened. "What happened after the fire?" "The police report vanished," Malik said bitterly. "Witnesses were paid off. One survivor went missing, and Riverway disappeared." Her fingers dug into her palms. "And you think he's come back?" "I know he has," Malik said. "This mansion, this very land, used to belong to the same company his father owned." Lena covered her face. It all connected. The vent whispers, the tunnels, the symbol, the secrets, the fire. But one thing didn't make sense. "Sir, why me? Why is he speaking to me? Why not you?" Malik's expression darkened. "That is what scares me the most." He walked around the desk and crouched beside her. "Lena, listen to me. Whatever happened in the past, I never knew it would lead to this. I never knew my decision to help your mother would—" He stopped. "Would what?" she whispered. Before he could answer, a sharp alarm blared through the house. Both of them jumped to their feet. Red emergency lights flashed once, twice, then flooded the hallway outside the study. A guard's frantic voice cracked through the security radio. Sir, come in. We found something in the West Wing, something you need to see immediately. It's a message." Malik grabbed the radio. "What message?" The guard's voice trembled. "It's written on the wall, sir. In red, it says—" Static swallowed the rest. Then a second voice came through the radio, clearer, colder, unmistakably familiar. "Hello, Malik." Malik's stomach twisted. "Riverway," he whispered. "Time is running out," the voice continued. "You want to know the truth so badly? Then come to the West Wing. Bring her with you." Malik stiffened. "No, you will not touch her." A soft laugh. "Touch her? My dear Malik, she is the key. You need her. I need her. We both know this, so stop pretending." Malik's hand shook. Riverway's final words before the radio died were, "Come quickly, before the next fire begins." The line clicked off. A thick silence fell. Lena clutched the edge of the desk. Another fire. Malik grabbed her hand, not gently, not harshly, but urgently. "Stay behind me," he said, "no matter what." They ran toward the West Wing. Halfway there, a deep rolling vibration shook the floor beneath their feet. Boom! Dust rained from the ceiling. Lights flickered violently. Lena froze. Malik pulled her forward. "Run!" Smoke began to creep under the doors ahead. Guards shouted in the distance. Something metal crashed to the ground. And then, from somewhere behind the walls, behind the vents, behind the house itself, Riverway's voice echoed through the hidden tunnels. "Welcome to the second fire, Malik. Let's see who survives this one." The hallway trembled again. A deeper shake, like the mansion itself was groaning under something heavy and unseen. Boom! A chandelier somewhere in the east wing shattered, sending crystals scattering across the tiles like falling stars. Guards shouted instructions, radios crackling, alarms blaring. Red emergency lights flashed along the ceiling, painting the entire west corridor the color of danger. Lena held onto Malik's hand so tightly her fingers hurt, but she didn't let go. "Sir, what's happening?" she cried. Malik didn't answer. He couldn't. His jaw was clenched so hard every muscle in his face twitched. Another boom echoed, closer. Smoke drifted through the air vents overhead, and that same cold, taunting voice slithered through the walls again. "Welcome to Memory Lane, Malik. Let's see if you learned anything from the first fire." Lena's blood ran cold. Malik tightened his grip and pulled her deeper into the corridor. "Security," he shouted. "Evacuate the staff. Clear the south exit." "Yes, sir," a guard responded behind them. "But what about you?" another guard asked anxiously. "Sir, the west wing isn't stable." "I'm going in," Malik said sharply. "He wants me there. He left a message, and Lena stays with me." Lena blinked. "Sir, maybe I should go with the others." "No," he cut in, turning to her with blazing eyes. "He asked for you specifically. If you're out of sight, the whole mansion becomes a trap. He'll strike from anywhere." Her heart slammed against her ribs. She stayed close. They reached the west wing hallway, the oldest part of the mansion. Tiles cracked under their feet, paint peeled from the walls. A faint orange glow pulsed somewhere far ahead. The glow of fire. Lena's breath caught. Malik stepped forward, shielding her with his body. Then they saw it. On the wall, written in something thick and red, a single sentence. "The girl who survives owes the truth." Lena staggered backward. What does that mean?" she whispered. Malik didn't answer immediately. His eyes moved slowly over every letter, his breath shaking. Another vibration rolled through the floor. Dust drifted from the ceiling. Then something creaked, a long, slow, sickening creak. Malik snapped his head upward. "Down!" he shouted. He pulled Lena to the floor just as a ceiling beam cracked loose and crashed exactly where she'd been standing. If she'd been one step ahead, she would have died instantly. Trembling, she whispered, "He's trying to kill me." Malik shook his head firmly. "No. If he wanted you dead, he wouldn't be playing games. He wants something else. Something connected to you and to the fire from years ago." Lena's eyes filled with tears. "Sir, what if she wasn't the only Undai involved?" Malik's head turned sharply. "What do you mean?" "My mother," she swallowed. "She had a sister. She stopped speaking about her after a big fight years ago. She never told me why." Malik stared at her, eyes widening. "Do you know the sister's name?" Lena shook her head. "Mama never told me." Another beam groaned overhead. The smoke thickened. The fire glow grew brighter. But something else distracted them. Footsteps, slow, deliberate, coming from the far end of the corridor. "Sir," Lena whispered, gripping his arm, "someone's coming." Malik moved in front of her. The footsteps echoed louder, closer, until a tall figure emerged from the shadows. For a moment, both Malik and Lena froze. It wasn't Riverway. It was Samuel. Samuel Okoro stood there, sweat on his forehead, shirt dirty with dust, breathing hard like he'd run through the entire house. "What are you doing here?" Malik demanded. Samuel held up both hands. "I heard the alarms. I was outside giving the police Clarissa's final statements. Then the guards started running. I came to help." Malik's eyes narrowed. "You shouldn't be here." Samuel stepped closer anyway. "Sir, you don't understand this man. Riverway, I know him." Lena gasped. "You what?" Samuel nodded. "He used to visit my neighborhood years ago. He wasn't called Riverway then. Everyone called him the Engineer. He was obsessed with the land by the river, said it had legacy value." Malik stiffened. Samuel continued. "He paid boys in the area to spy on people, paid men to scare families off the land. He even tried to recruit me, but I refused." Lena whispered, "So he was already dangerous." Samuel nodded grimly. "Very." Another explosion shook the far end of the wing. All three ducked instinctively. Malik grabbed Samuel by the shirt. "Did you ever hear him mention a woman named Endai, a cleaner who died in the fire?" Samuel's brows furrowed deeply. Yes, I did," he said slowly. "He used to shout about her, said she ruined everything, said she saw something she wasn't supposed to see." Lena felt the world tilt. My mother's sister," she whispered. "It's possible," Samuel said gently. "He always called her the witness." Malik stepped back in shock. "That means—" Before he could finish, a boom thundered through the hall, and flames burst through the far doorway. A wall of heat slammed into them. "Move!" Malik shouted, pulling both Lena and Samuel away. Smoke curled up the walls. Cracks shot through the ceiling. The mansion groaned like a dying animal. But over the roaring fire, Over the alarms, over the panic, a calm male voice drifted through the corridor speakers. Riverway, as you can see, my dear guests, the West Wing is ready. I didn't want to rush you. After all, this is a reenactment. Malik snarled, coward. Riverway chuckled. I've played this scene before, Malik. You know how it ends, but this time the girl will choose the truth. Lena trembled. What truth? The voice softened. Your truth, Lena. The one your mother hid from you. The reason she feared this mansion. The reason she begged to move away from the Riverway settlement. What reason? She screamed. Riverway paused for a long moment, then said two words that made her blood freeze. Ask Samuel. Lena turned sharply to Samuel. Her heartbeat pounded in her ears. Samuel, what is he talking about? Samuel looked away. Samuel, she shouted, grabbing his shirt. What is he talking about? Samuel's eyes brimmed with a guilt she had never seen before. Lena, he whispered, your mother didn't leave the Riverway community because of poverty. Smoke swirled around them. Flames crept closer. Then why? She cried. Samuel's voice cracked. She left because of the man who started the fire. Lena's grip loosened. Malik's breath stopped. Samuel continued in a trembling whisper. The man who started the fire, the one who caused the deaths, the one who vanished. He closed his eyes. Lena, he was your uncle. The hallway fell silent. Only fire crackled, consuming everything. Lena staggered backward, hitting the wall. My uncle started the fire. Samuel nodded painfully. Yes, and when your mother discovered the truth, she threatened to expose him. That's why she ran. That's why she hid you. That's why she changed her life. Lena's legs buckled. She slid to the floor, clutching her head. No, Mama would have told me. She wouldn't have hidden something like that. Malik knelt beside her. Lena, breathe. She shook violently. Above them, Riverway's voice whispered through the speakers one last time. You see, my dear girl, everyone carries a piece of the first fire, but only you can reveal who must burn in the second. The speakers went dead. The fire roared louder. The ceiling cracked, and then a steel door at the end of the corridor slammed open violently, revealing a tall silhouette standing behind the flames. Not Riverway, not a guard, not Samuel, not Malik, someone else entirely. A person whose identity froze the blood in all their veins. The stranger stepped forward, smoke swirling around their face, and Lena's scream tore through the burning hallway because she recognized the voice before the face. Lena, the figure said softly, my child, don't be afraid. If you're holding your breath, you're living this story with us. This is the power of real human drama. For more journeys into the dark and emotional, subscribe to Lost Black. The truth is just getting started. The figure stepped fully into the flickering light. The flames reflected in eyes Lena knew from faded photographs. A face aged by years and burdened by secrets, but unmistakable. The woman she'd been told was long gone, the sister her mother never spoke of. Auntie? Lena whispered, the word tearing from a place of childhood memory and sudden devastating understanding. The woman, Riverway, gave a slow, sorrowful nod. The puppeteer wasn't a man hiding in the walls. She was the ghost from her mother's past, here to collect a debt written in fire and blood. Hello, Lena, she said. It's time you learned what your mother was too scared to tell you. Malik stared, realization dawning. The hunter they'd been chasing was family, and the final trap had just sprung.